Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chairman Powell, it's good to see you. Thank you for being here. I want to follow up on a question from Senator Warner about data deterioration. I'm concerned about that as well, that the Trump administration, I'm watching as they've ended dozens of research studies that business and government leaders rely on. So my question to you, are there specific research projects that the Bureau of Labor Statistics provided that they no longer do provide, that the Federal Reserve researchers cannot replicate on their own or through other sources?
I'm not aware of any.
Okay.
That doesn't mean they don't exist, but mainly it's the regular data they supply. And as you know, they've cut back on the size of that survey.
Right. So I would hope as we move forward, and not just in today's hearing, but if there is some other data or you're relying on data that you're not getting, or there's now another source for that data, I would please share that with the committee. Thank you.
Yes.
During the Biden administration, the Federal Housing Finance Agency and the Federal Reserve worked together to improve access to the discount window for banks. What is the status of that collaboration with the FHFA?
I can't speak to the FHFA. I can speak to the fact that we're really looking carefully at modernizing the discount window and making.
But we're not there
investments.
yet.
No, it's going to be. This is a project that will take some time. It's the discount window needs to be updated and refreshed from a technological standpoint so that people can access it readily and that kind of thing. It's still a little bit behind the age in that respect.
Do you have a time frame that you're looking at to?
I'll get back to you. It's something we've been working on hard.
Or is there a funding impediment that is also
No.
addressing this?
No.
So, okay,
No.
if you could.
We're moving ahead with it. I'll come back to you on
Okay,
that.
thank you. In March, the Federal Reserve, together with the FDIC and OCC, announced that you all intend to repeal the 2023 Community Reinvestment Reinvestment Act proposed rule. I prefer the proposed rule as it would better address the needs of states like Nevada that don't have headquarters of large banks. How will you ensure that the new CRA guidance improves access to financial services, to loans, to investments in underserved rural and tribal communities?
So I think in March we announced that we're putting out for comment really a proposal to withdraw the proposed guidance, which had been the subject of litigation. And in the meantime, we're going back to the old CRA rules, and I think that's where we will be. I don't have anything more in terms of what we might change with respect to those old rules, but that's where
So
we
the
are.
default are the old rules,
Yes.
and those may be
CRA as it existed before
ongoing.
this
Yeah.
proposal, which actually never took effect.
Right. Okay, that's helpful. Community banks benefited from high deposits during the pandemic. Since then, the net interest margin for community banks has fallen. What specific challenges do you see for community banks, if any?
Community banks, are very important. We want a banking system that has all different sizes and shapes of banks, and community banks are absolutely critical. They know what's going on in communities and in a way that the big banks can't possibly. So they're a critical part of our infrastructure, and I think they've been under pressure because, frankly, regulatory costs fixed costs of regulation have gone up. We try not to contribute to that. The number of banks has been going down pretty steadily, and that's not something we're trying to foster, but it's a sort of long-run trend of really the last 30 years. So we try not to add to what is a secular trend because we think they're important.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it.